Hello, thank you for joining me. I'm at Bekonscot Model Village again. I've come here today to see what the Bekonscot Light Railway is doing for the Railway 200 celebrations. Let's go in and find out. So we can look at some of their posters. So we can see one saying 200 days, 200 pence and 200 hours. So the railway is going to run for 200 hours, not 200 hours in one go, but over the next few weeks they're going to do 200 hours of running. And as this next poster shows, you get a ticket. Now here's the ticket. They've already just clipped it for the first ride, so this is the souvenir ticket you get. And how it says Little Ride At to Little Ride At, and it also says Stockton to Darlington, because obviously that's the 200th anniversary which we're celebrating. And what's also happened is if you look at the diesel loco over there, so it's got 200 on it, so that's ready for 200. We're now going to go, the tram's waiting here, going to take me for my first ride. The signal's gone down and it's now time for us to go for our first ride on the Bekonscot Light Railway. There's something we're going to pass in a moment. When we depart the station, we're going to have a brief look from the train, and then we'll have to get off and have a closer look. So off we go. That was a very enjoyable ride as always on the Bekonscot Light Railway. What we're going to do, we're just going to go around the corner now to the site of the original 2001 station while no trains are running, and I'm going to show you what we just passed. The railway has given me special permission to go line side, just in between the trains running, lights red. We're not going to see any trains, to show you what we passed on the first ride. We passed it quite quickly, so we didn't really get to have a good look, but what I want to show you, it's quite an unusual thing to see. Well, firstly, you can see there's some 7¼ inch gauge track from another railway which was donated to us. We've put it up here. Interesting to see Stockton here in Buckinghamshire. And if we walk to the other end, we can see Darlington. So you can see where I'm going with this. And by the way, this is the site of the original station, which opened in 2001, and then the railway was extended. Anyway, Stockton to Darlington, that railway started running passenger trains 200 years ago, and that's what this Rail 200 is all about, which, like I say, these celebrations are taking place all over the UK. What Bekonscot's doing, which I think is really fun, you may have noticed we have two locomotives here. We have Locomotion and a Clayton Class 17. The significance of Locomotion is fairly obvious. That's because it was one of the locos which ran on the Stockton to Darlington Railway. The Class 17 was chosen because one of the members of Bekonscot staff, it's his favourite loco. These two are going to have a race. Now, I don't know which one's going to win, but the way it's going to work is every day, as I've mentioned, we're doing this 200 hours of running. So for every day, the Clayton Class 17 is going to move forward one sleeper. So at the end of Saturday, the 19th of July, the Clayton Class 17 will be here, and then on the Sunday, there, and so on and so on. I mentioned the ticket costs 200 pence, £2, as opposed to £1.80, but you get two rides, so you get more for your money. The extra 20 pence is going to be donated to charity, mainly the, as seen on the wagon here, the Railway Children Charity. I'm no good at maths, but I've been told, I think if you divide it down, the target basically is every £67, Locomotion is going to move forward a sleeper. So it's a race to see who can get from Stockton, there it is, to Darlington. Who's going to win? We don't know at this stage. Hopefully Locomotion, because generally Clayton Class 17s were quite slow. There's only one preserved of them. They weren't the most successful design of diesel locos. Who's going to win? If you're watching this video in the future, you may well know. So that's what this is about. The other thing I'm going to show you before we go and have a other ride, see this wagon here? See what they've done? They've put this padded seating in. That looks like a rather interesting way, doesn't it, to enjoy a miniature railway ride. And the other carriage that was behind the tram was padded out like that. So shall we go and have a ride in some of this padded seating for our second ride? Here we are, I've had my ticket clipped. It's time for me to go for my second ride. As you can see, I'm sat in this padded out wagon, which is really quite exciting. You can basically loll around like this. I've never had a ride in a miniature railway like this before. This is really unique. I mean, I wonder how I could spend all night like this if they'd run the train for me all night. This is really quite exciting. This is different. So if you come here, basically you can have the conventional ride like I had earlier, or you can have, it's getting a bit dark, feels like night going through the tunnel. You can have this really different ride. As long as you keep your arms and legs inside, then yeah, great. I don't know if to sit like this. Well, I do a bit of everything during the course of the ride. I can sit cross-legged and just enjoy the ride, looking around at the scenery. And then when I feel a bit tired, just go down like this. Feels funny looking up at the sky. You don't normally do that on the miniature railway. I love it, it's brilliant, it's different. And this is one of the reasons why I like miniature railways so much, and why I spend so much of my time visiting miniature railways, because every single one is different. There's no two miniature railways that are the same. Yes, you might see like certain locos, you might see them at various different railways, but each ride is unique. And even here we've had two rides on one miniature railway. They're both completely different just because of choice of coaching stock, really. That's the old railway, that path there. When I first came here, well, I've been coming here all my life, but when the railway first opened in 2001, that path back there, that was actually the railway. And then the railway's since been extended to the layout you see today. And the old track bed became a footpath, which I think is really quite cool. It's a path that staff use. I'll point it out, we're going to go past it again in a moment. Staff use it when walking through this part of the garden. So the staff here actually get to walk what has to be the world's shortest disused railway footpath. Look, see there it is there? That's an old railway footpath. The little humpback bridge, that wasn't there when it was a railway. That's since been put in. There was a flatter bridge, but that is the world's shortest disused railway footpath. Hang on, I'm going to lie back down again for the last bit, the bit back down to the station. Got the sun in my eyes a bit, but we're about to go into cutting, so I don't really mind. haven't fallen asleep yet. I'm enjoying the ride too much for that. Maybe if it was a lot longer, like I say, imagine a sleeper train in 7 1/4 inch. That would really be quite unique. Right, we are coming back to the station, so I think that's the end of my ride. But yeah, what an enjoyable ride that was. Well, after having all the fun riding the Bekonscot Light Railway, I've come to the fair. This is of course the fair at Bekonscot in the Model Village. I'm just having a little walk through the Model Village because I also do really like the Model Village. Look, you can get to see things like the house on fire, the house that always catches fire, and every time it's put out it seems to catch fire again soon afterwards. So if you're coming to Bekonscot to ride the light railway, you will of course be looking around Bekonscot Model Village, which is, you know, great with its gauge 1 model railway. And this is at the end of the day now, so most of the visitors have gone. I think I'm the only one here. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for Bekonscot for inviting me to come over and let me make this video. So do come and visit for their Rail 200 celebrations, for their 200 hours of running. And if you are watching this video after that, then you can still come and visit Bekonscot and you can have a look around the Model Village. The light railway runs every day that Bekonscot is open to the public, and Bekonscot is open from mid-February to the end of October every year, but always do just check, and it is open some other times of the year, so always do come and visit Bekonscot. It's a great place, and you never know, you might even see me driving the train on the Bekonscot Light Railway. Thank you very much for watching. Please do feel free to like, share, comment and subscribe. From Bekonscot Newtown with a great view over the Model Village, goodbye.